Hello everyone. In this series of videos, I want to introduce the Science Olympiad Build events for the 2021 season. The information ahead is suitable for students competitors who have had no previous exposure to build events. To keep this fun and informative, I interleave SciOly event parameters with real-life engineering applications to place Science Olympiad within the broader context of your future coursework and career. This lecture will be split into a series of videos, with links to the playlist in the next video in the description below. After a motivational video, I'll spend 10 minutes discussing each event in this order, before zooming out and finishing with a broader look at the importance of SciOly in your future lives. With that said, I hope you enjoy these videos and find them informative. Feel free to comment to ask questions. Alrighty. So, Science Olympiad builds are very diverse. You can see this from just this picture. I've gathered a couple of pictures from past Science Olympiad events spanning several years. And well, let's look at this one in detail. So this right here, you might think it's a car on 4 wheels. It's called a gravity vehicle. Right, that might not seem exciting. Oh, this might look more fancy. This is an Arduino project. You have a bunch of wires and LEDs, some computer stuff, maybe sensors. Here you have a bunch of bridges, and the point of these bridges is to hold a load, a very heavy one, but they're supposed to be super light. And you see how many different designs there are. The whole point is to find that optimum design that holds the most weight while being the lightest. You can experiment quite a lot here. This complicated looking assembly, this is actually a mission possible. It's not one of this year's events. It was from the past years, but nonetheless, take a look inside. There are so many small and complicated looking mechanisms. They're all small mechanisms that act in a sequence, one after the other. If one of them fails, the rest don't execute, and you get a bad score. So it's important that you get all of them working right when you need them, and you fit them into a small space as well. So looks pretty challenging. And perhaps if you're not interested in computers or, I don't know, pieces of metal and wheels, you could look at this nice airplane model. This is an event called Right Stuff, where you build a airplane powered solely by a rubber band, and it's supposed to fly the longest possible distance you can make it. And controlling the airflow around the wings and optimizing for its flight pattern is all quite challenging. It will teach you a lot about aerospace as well in the process. And finally, robotics seems to be a popular pastime here in this part of town. And one of the events in the past was robotic arm. And by the looks of things, it seems to be playing some sort of game with dice and egg cartons. So you get to build your own robotic arm and take it to competition, see what it's worth. So there's lots of opportunities here, lots of fun as well, because it's not just about building a cool device, it's also about the people. When you show up at the competition, it becomes like a sport. You have to aim your mousetrap vehicle at the target or calibrate a hovercraft speed before it takes off. And the kind of fighting spirit of making sure it works perfectly, and really always something will go wrong. Overcoming those challenges is, in essence, that's kind of a sport as well. So you can say Science Olympiad is a sport, like the Olympic Games. And if you think that these events are cool, well, you're not alone. These companies, which sponsor Science Olympiad and several specific events within Science Olympiad, also recognize the value in doing this type of play and work. The skills that you learn while doing these events become extremely valuable in the industry, and these become very good learning opportunities, so that the lessons you learn now will stick with you for your future professional career. And I guess if a NASA endorsement says something, you could perhaps tune in and see where NASA comes in. All right, so In the first 5 minutes, we've kind of introduced you to the variety of events and why I guess they're somewhat exciting. Now I'll just show you what the plan is for the rest of the meeting. There are 6 build events, and I've broken them down into 3 categories, and we will talk about each one